bite.
Larry catches the biggest bass.
That was a bite. Yeah, there he is. Got him.
Got him.
There's a bite.
Got him. Hey, there's one.
I was swimming in and one came and got it. There's one.
Got him.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So it is iCast time. This year I'm not going to iCast. I couldn't necessarily justify going because I was like, the fishing's pretty good here right now. We just kind of stay here. But that being said, I have some new stuff on the Berkeley side that's coming out at iCast that I want to show y'all real quick. We're not going to throw it at the golf course today because I haven't caught a fish in a couple of days. The weather's been good, but yesterday I was stuck in the house doing some editing, whatnot, and I just got done with another video today. But we're about to go e-bike to the golf course. I'm just gonna hang out here and do that today, and we're gonna take some of this stuff out probably in the next video, but I had to show it to you. I've had it for a couple of days, and I've thrown the frogs a little bit, but I didn't say anything about it in the video because I wasn't sure if I was supposed to, which, I mean, I'll always plug y'all. You know, I'll give you a little sneak peek, a little glimpse of something, but I won't maybe be necessarily supposed to show you, but I mean, it is what it is. So that's the new Berkeley Swamp Lord. It's a frog, and I have a couple other things over here. I really am scared to throw any of this from the bank because I just don't want to lose it. This is a dime for, I'm really big into little small crankbaits like this. Like next tournament I fish, this will definitely be one that we're taking with us. I haven't thrown any of these. I'm just kind of looking at them. Honestly, kind of resemble like a DT6 in my opinion. It definitely is a different body style, but it's a just different body style crankbait. I haven't thrown it yet. Got 3 different sizes of that, the 4, 6, and the 10. Then we got the Swamp Lords. That's a cool color. I'm excited to throw that. I feel like this is definitely going to be one of those frogs that we catch a whole bunch of fish on. It's going to be all beat up here in probably a couple weeks, hopefully. Got a nice little bullfrog pattern. Can't ever be mad at that. Then also we got the Swamp Lord, another bullfrog. And this one kind of looks like a little, like lightning, maybe like a perch or something pattern. But I mean, all topwater frogs, the bottom color is really the only thing that matters on those. Then also we have the Nessie, which I'm super excited to be able to throw this because it's like a soft plastic glide bait. And I don't have any big glide baits. I have some big swim baits, but haven't made it to the glide bait scene yet. But we have these, and I'll have all this stuff linked down below in the description. If you know, I like to try stuff out before I tell you all about it, but all this stuff I'm just super excited to have, and I'm super excited to try, so I want to show it to y'all. Also we have this big dude right here, the Nessie 9. So that's pretty much besides the point for this video today. I just want to show that stuff to you. I'm not like trying to promote it. I just thought it was cool. I've had it for a couple of weeks. You've probably seen it in the background of a couple of videos, but today what we're gonna do, we're gonna go to the golf course. We're gonna fish a little bit around the golf course. I haven't fished a golf course in a couple of weeks, but I'm thinking last time I was out there, weightless generals were doing really good, and I'm slap out of generals. So one thing that I normally don't do too much, but I always wish I do, and it's always like an afterthought after I get skunked, is throw a jig. So I have a couple small black and blue jigs, and we've had a little bit of rain the past couple of days. I think that's why it's been so cool here in Alabama. So we're gonna town a couple black and blue jigs. We're gonna just probably take a jig box and then maybe some craws for either trailers or just to have to throw. And we're gonna try to go make something happen at the golf course. So stay tuned. I'm gonna rig up my tackle. I'm gonna vibe. We're gonna vibe and rig up some tackle together. So stay tuned. I got this AFCO backpack, not too long ago actually. It's pretty good. Like I don't know. I go back and forth on how I feel about tackle backpacks. Because sometimes I haven't really found one that I really like. The Plano one, I liked it, but it kind of got a little like flimsy on me as I used it more. But this one, it feels pretty good. It's almost like I don't really think it's supposed to be like a fishing backpack. That's probably why I like it, because it's like a good, high quality, sturdy backpack. So I have some 4.5 inch generals, and these are normally the size that I don't throw. I like the 5 or 6 inch. I mean, those are fairly small. I mean, those are probably good to like wacky rigs. That's probably the purpose of them, but really don't throw wacky rigs too much. These will probably be an emergency lure. We got some chigger craws, more chigger craws, 4 inch green pumpkin. I like this color. This is called Breen, like brown and green. Very, very creative name from Berkeley there, Breen. I love that. And we got some more green pumpkin chartreuse right here. Keep it real, don't leave me in the blind. Ooh, that could have been bad.
thought I found a new route, but I think I'm gonna have to move, like watch out for some trees up here, so it's gonna be interesting. I always forget I have these rods back behind me. Figured out, I really need like 2-piece rods. Oh yeah, that's money right there. The only thing is they just stick out so long on like each side, but we can make it work. I need to be able to mount them like right behind me. Let's throw them back behind me real quick. We should have time, we'll just stop in the street.
It's always a good idea, kids, just stop in the street.
All right, yeah, I see the bluegill over here, so we might be able to pull up and catch one or two, hopefully. But also, it's like summertime right now. Like it's quite hot. Got like a 4-aught hook on a big worm. I've really been trying to downsize my hook size. I don't know how that's gonna work, but we're gonna give it a couple casts at least. Try it out. Whew, it is hot out here today, man. Definitely gonna have to make our cast like off of the bank a little bit because I'm sure this water isn't the coolest over here. Hey, there's a bite. Unless it's a bluegill. Oh, already. It's such a good feeling whenever it's hot out and you get your first bite because then it's like you don't feel the heat anymore. Man, it's crazy that we didn't hook up on that fish. As big as this hook is, you'd think if it was big enough to take the worm, he'd be able to get the hook too. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and switch out so we're not starting the video off trying to rig up our worm best we can. I really have been vibing with these smaller hooks here lately. I'm not sure if I've said this, but the reason why I'm throwing them is I saw John Cox. We got to fish with him in Florida earlier in the year, and he was throwing like a, dude, I want to say it was a hook smaller than this on a 5-inch General. And it was like, I wasn't in the boat with him, but it was like one of those things where he was there and like just kind of looking, you know, if you're out on the water with a professional fisherman, you're gonna look and see what they have tied on. And I mean, somebody that he fished the MLF and like bass tour, so he definitely got a lot of fishing in. Hey, that's a bite.
Got him.
I knew there would be one in that muck right there. Oh, came off. Darn. Did get a little excited. Probably fought him a little bit too hard. But, I mean, hey, that was our first one on the crawl. I knew there was going to be one in that little bit of grass right there. I knew it. Summertime technique for you. Cool. All right, let's see if we can get another one. I bet you there's a couple of them hanging out right there. I mean, it makes sense. There's that drain. I'm not sure if it's like pulling water or putting water into the pond. I don't know what it looks like underneath, like the surface of the water. But, I mean, it's making noise. I'm sure that kind of has something to do with it. And then there's this little bit of like muck, moss where bass can kind of probably get tucked up into and they feel safe right in there. And this is one of those places where you're probably gonna have to make a couple casts at, but when I got bit my first cast over here, I was like, yeah, there's probably one somewhere right in there. So honestly, we didn't land that one, we didn't touch them, but I would count that as like a first fish of the day. And one thing that I find like this time of the year, like sometimes you really have to slow down and like fish a spot thoroughly because there'll be a fish somewhere and you know, he'll kind of play with you. It's hot, it's lethargic. Bass are probably more opportunistic feeders. You know, if you cast one right in front of their face, they're probably a lot more likely to eat it. They're not going to swim from the other side of the pond at 5 o'clock when it's still 90 degrees out to get something. So I feel like you definitely have to slow it down, let them see it and let them get it good. Depending on your body of water too, because sometimes you'll find ponds over the summer that's like they haven't been fished all year and it's like every cast pond's just loaded up with big old bass. But I don't think that's going to be the case in this one today. So I'm trying to make sure I cast kind of off of the bank a little bit, right where the water should drop off at, and then I can feel with my Texas rig. Like this one's not super heavy, but I can kind of feel the bottom and feel how long it takes for it to sink until it hits the bottom. And like the first, 5-10 feet of casting parallel down a bank like this is kind of, feeling where is it deep at, where does it get the deepest at, and where are you getting your bites from. Hey, there's a bite.
Got him.
There we go. Oh, that's not a bad one right there. He choked that crawl too. I'll take that all day. pretty good first fish. Sometimes I feel bad whenever I hook like a really thin one because I feel like they needed the meal that they thought they were getting. Hey, look at him. That's a nice one. I mean, if he was filled out, he would have been a 2-pounder. This is one of those thin ones. I'm gonna tell you exactly what he smells like. If you've caught a fish like this, you probably know exactly what it smells like. It smells like a poor skinny fish. You know how those poor ones like this, they have like that scent to them? This one has that scent. Get back, eat a real crawl, dude. I'm sorry, I don't have one to give you. Maybe I should do a video where I'm like rewarding bass with what they deserve. Give them a crawfish whenever they eat the lure. Go ahead and grab another pack of crawls before we start tearing them up on these. And then we'll go back down and fish the jig over here. Tell y'all what, this crawl that I'm throwing today, I probably had all the crawls that I put in that backpack, I probably had them for about 2 or 3 years. I'm telling y'all, if y'all can find the patience to like Texas rig fish a dam, I know there's a big fish over here. Like, I just know it. I think it's just like really taking the time and like saying, okay, I'm gonna stick to this. I'm gonna make, you know, 100 casts this evening, and I'm gonna work it slow. I'm gonna do it how it needs to be done, and I'm gonna find a big fish. Because I'm telling you, like, sometimes dams in the summertime, if you're impatient, throw like a rattle trap and just let it sink down to the bottom and yo-yo it back up. I like to wait till like later in the evening for that juice. That's a very juicy tip, so do with that as you please. I'm telling you, like the dams in the summertime, it's a little bit deeper water. The bass can sit down on the bottom. And then also too, like if you're seeing like bait fish, you know, they're kind of few and far in between. I feel like that's always a good sign. Like I see a few right here, but I mean, you know, in the spring, like this whole bank right here will be covered in them. But now since it's a little bit hotter, like the really small bait fish are up here, and then the bigger ones you'll kind of see like circle in and out, and I feel like that just means the bass are like back behind those. Hey, there's one. I was swimming in it and one came and got it. That's the cool thing about these crawls also, with the appendages on them, they really put off a lot of water. So I don't think that's probably a bad way to catch fish. Cool, it's fish number 2. Well, we're gonna call it fish number 3, that first one we're counting. Cool, not as big as the first one, but still healthy one. Just a good old, you know, good old largemouth bass, still fun. Beats doing literally anything else. I think this is probably the best thing that you could ever possibly, well, I don't know. I'd love to be able to make like generate $1 million a second. That'd probably be pretty fun. But like outside of like making a whole bunch of money or like spending time with your family, you know, I think this is probably one of the best things that you can do with your time. Okay, cool. So got 2 fish on the crawl. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fish the crawl to the end of the dam, and then I'm going to just walk back. So I kind of like give it a couple minutes to rest, give it a little bit of time. We're gonna go tie on that black and blue jig, and then we're gonna try to fish it a little bit. It's crazy because I caught that fish just swimming the crawl down the bank. Like I really wasn't doing anything special with it. Really reeling it in to get another cast with it, and caught one. Man, I feel like every time I talk about a jig or a crawl like this, I always say the same thing. I think it's an amazing way to catch fish in the summertime. Especially like if you're just looking to go out and have some like Texas rig fun, you don't want to throw a general, switch over to like a crawl. And I know it's a popular bait, it's just one that I don't really pick up. But whenever I do pick up a crawl or a jig, especially like just like a normal black and blue jig, 3/8 ounce, it seems like I always have such a good day with it. Either you're gonna catch a really big one or you're gonna catch a lot, or it's gonna be a mix of the both of them. Seems like. Trying to think, do I want to go get the jig now before I hit this little mossy spot? Oh, there's something right there. No, I don't think that's a fish. Yeah, it's not a fish. It's hung on something. Something's telling me to go tie on the jig before I hit this little spot right here. I think I'm gonna do that. I'll just ride the bike back down. Oh, we'll hit it from the other side. All right, we're gonna give this a break, and we're gonna go try that good old black and blue. All right. All right. Got our jig rigged up, put a little crawl trailer on it. We're gonna get another cast over here. I need to start throwing this Revo S more often. So older reels, probably, I don't know, probably like 6, 7 years old. There's one.
Got him.
Got him. Come here on the jig, baby. Come here. Haha. On the jig with the Mix Max trailer. Normally I would throw a black and blue trailer, but I've seen videos in the past of like guys that'll, you know, throw like a black and blue jig and then have like a green pumpkin trailer on it, and that's like their preferred way of doing it. Me personally, I just always try to match. No real reason, you know, just want to match. But I think like black and blue and chartreuse probably ain't too bad of a color combination. Both kind of dirty stained water color combos, but got one on the good old jig. This is the pocket I always say I never catch fish out of. It always looks so good and fishy to me, but I think that might be like my second or third fish I've ever caught out of this little pocket over here. Cool, so we're at 3 officially. I didn't even pull my pinchers apart. Cool, I catched like right on top of that fish. Like the second right before the jig hit the water, I saw a couple little ripples. Hey, there's a backlash in that. All right, so we went around and explored a little bit. Came up over here on this side. This is actually the spot where I caught my 7-pounder at. That was like early March. It was like right off of that point. Sun's already gone down over here on this side, so we're gonna try it out a little bit. That was a bite. Yeah, there he is. Got him.
Got him. Got him.
Hey, not a bad one. Oh, he's stuck on a stick. No, that's not how we want this to end. All right, so we got to be smart about this right here. See, he's like wrapped around it. I think he got off. Yeah, he definitely, yeah, I see my crawl. Got off. Darn. It's like that was his only objective. It's like, he was like, if I can just make it to the stick, I know I'll free myself.
Chasing a bag, I'm racing the clock. Look at him flock, watching him flop. Used to see this in my sleep. When I ain't had shit but my thoughts in the car, I really was lost. Now I'm public with the soundscapes.